I guess welcome to Michigan for the people that haven't been here before. I am up in the northern part of Michigan. If we can, yeah, I guess we can see that. This kind of small print down here, but that's Detroit down here. I live up in the northern part of Michigan. It's a resort area where everybody comes to play, and I get to live here, and great place to live, and we love it here. Uh, all right, so now when we're doing a spindle orientation, our grain orientation is always from, let's go look at that a second real quickly. Our grain orientation is going to be spindle orientation. That means we're always going to go from the largest diameter to small, large diameter to small, so we go downhill to the fibers. We're going to go supported fibers. We're going to, as we cut this grain, we're going to have it supported by that one. We cut this one, it's supported by that one. We're going to go the correct direction. If we go the opposite way, we're going to tear it up and have torn out grain. So whenever I can, and almost always, I'm always going to go from large diameter to small in spindle mode. In a bowl, it's different. Of course, you always got to use the grain orientation to your advantage and go the correct way to the grain. So it's easier to visualize in a spindle mode. It's just large diameter to small. We always go stop in the middle. We never go past that. If we go down here and back up the other side, then we're going to tear it out, and we're likely to get a catch there. So it's always large diameter to small. So bevel supported cut, we're going to get the bevel. When I had the bevel supported cut before, I had the bevel lined up in the direction I was going to take, and they were just going in straight into the tree to rough it out. Right now that I'm going to make a curved line, I'm going to bring my handle way, way, way back over here. Let's get a good close-up of that. There we go. Bring my handle way, way back over here. I'm going to have bevel support first. There's my bevel touching. You see the rub there. The sharp edge is pointing right out in midair. So now I'm going to bring my handle away from me a little bit and get a little wiggle so I get a shaving. That lines up the bevel with that existing surface. Now I can proceed forward and I can swing my handle away from me. Bevel first, line it up, proceed forward, swing my handle away from me. All right, let's back out so you can see the shape a little bit better and where my hands are and so forth. There we go. I wonder if this will help. Sometimes this doesn't fit in here. I don't know. We'll see if this helps. Hey, there we go. That helps. Okay, so let's first of all, let's get a center point. If I'm at, what did I say, 2 1/4, so 1 1/8, that's going to be my center line, the largest diameter of my globe. So I'm never going to touch that. All right, so we're going to get bevel support first, get a little whisk of a shaving, proceed forward. Swinging my handle away from me the whole time, making a nice curved shape. So let's go back the other direction. I'm going to do a little V cut here right into my pencil line. V into there. Large diameter small. V into there. Large diameter small. Large diameter small. Now here's the key. I don't want to make this diameter too small. Otherwise I'm going to come out here and hollow it and it's going to vibrate. So I want to keep this waste wood here for a while. So now I'm going to go back to the opposite direction. Bevel support first, swing my handle away from me, and start to make the curve on the other side. Swing my handle towards me this time. I'm standing on the right-hand side. Okay, so now you see it's a little bit bulgy, isn't it? It's a little bit bumpy here, a little bit flat right here. So I just have to clean it up. Try to make that as oh, that's why. All right. Because my bottom, when I get done, is going to be up in here someplace. Not in here. That's not my bottom. my bottom's going to be up here when I'm finished making that curve, right? So that target looks kind of funny right now. Instead of going down into the bottom, it's going into the wastewood a little bit. But still a little bit bumpy, a little bit humpy there. So I'm going to come back in here. And taper that down. And I've got to take this down. I'm going to take this all the way down to the diameter of my opening. I'll talk about that in a little bit here. Now that's looking a little better. That's a nice sweet arc right there. All right. Now I want to clean this up so that I don't have to sand it, and I can do that with a shear scrape. Let me put this camera on. I think it's in, no, it's not in the right place anymore. Let me switch that camera. And yeah, just for that, I want to shear scrape, and shear scraping I have to have my handle down. And when I lower my handle, I'm going to hit the bed of the lathe. So I'm going to do it without the handle on. I'm going to shear scrape with the handle off, and I need to have the handle way down, and we're going to clean this up, and I have to go downhill to the fibers so that that angle of my sheerness, you can shear scrape with a lot of different tools, but I'm doing it with the bowl gouge here. The sheerness is slicing the fibers downhill to the fibers, and I can clean this up so I can start sanding with 320 400 grit. Now the shear scrape does two things. It's going to refine the line and the shape, as well as take any little tool marks and any other little torn out grain that I might have had from my push cuts. Okay, see what that looks like. Oh, I do have a woodpecker hole right there, and it looks like another little bit there too. But look at the color, the character of the wood, the grain orientation is really cool. Okay, loving that. All right, so now I shear scrape that way. Now I got to go back the other way. I got to get rid of this. It's in my way. So we're going to go back the other way for a bit and shear scrape the back side of this as much as we can. The wastewood's in the way, but I need that wastewood there. Can't get rid of it. This has got to stay. So we can get some of this. We can get in here part way and clean this up. I just looked at those two ornaments that I just showed you that I did in Vendor Showcase a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? And I didn't shear scrape the bottom of either one of those. I just shear scraped the top, and I can really feel the difference between the bottom that's not shear scraped and the top that was. Significant difference in sanding. Now I can't reach, I don't know if you can see the color there. I can only reach here, that last little 3/8 of an inch or so I can't get with shear scraping. So I'm going to pick up a spindle gouge and finish that cut. The spindle gouge, why? Because it's got a steeper grind. The steeper grind, the going to give me a little bit cleaner cut than my bull gouge. So I'm going to, again, anchor bevel cut, going to line up the bevel, get a little whisk of a shaving, and follow that line right on down. Swinging the handle away from me, very slowly pace across the surface. And the twist of the tool is on a steep angle so that I'm slicing very clean. Oh yeah, that feels good. Yeah, the twist of that angle is steep so that it's slicing and can clean it up. Okay, so now we got the outside shape